College athletics is not in a healthy spot. It's not, and there needs to be change.
That is former UVA men's basketball coach Tony Bennett. Just 5 years ago, his team won the 2019 national championship right here in Minneapolis. But this fall, Bennett abruptly retired, in part because of a lack of regulation around new rules that let athletes profit from their name, image, and likeness. Those three letters, NIL, have transformed college sports as we know it, in both good ways and bad. Danny Spiewak has more on how the recent rule change is playing out and why some are calling this new landscape the Wild Wild West.
As one of the faces of the Gopher women's basketball team, junior guard Mara Braun takes pride in playing for her home state.
It just means the world.
Off the court, the Wayzata native has been visible in the community through fan meetups, a partnership with Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, and Special Olympics Minnesota.
Using your platform to just kind of advocate for me, Special Olympics, but for others, it might be some other organization.
These outside partnerships are made possible by the NCAA's name, image, and likeness rules, known as NIL, which took effect in 2021 after a landmark Supreme Court decision.
There's a ton of possibilities now, and it's just growing day by day.
Braun is hardly the only athlete taking advantage of NIL. According to a KARE 11 review of data obtained from the University of Minnesota, athletes have reported more than 500 NIL deals to the school since 2021. The data doesn't give a full picture of the value of these deals, but athletes reported at least $450,000 in known payouts, with tens of thousands more earned through commissions and monthly arrangements.
There's definitely a lot of money involved in college sports, and student athletes should be getting a piece of that pie.
Robert Gagg helps facilitate many of these NIL deals as the co-founder of Dinkytown Athletes.
We're looking for opportunities for student athletes,
which works separately from the university as a so-called collective.
A collective essentially is a talent agency.
As the school's records show, the NIL deals range widely in value. One football player, for example, made $25,000 last year for one autograph session, while others might make a few $100 from social media posts or appearances. But athletes aren't required to make their income public.
There's a top group of student athletes in the country that might be making the 6-figure to 7 figures. The rest is just a really manageable, let's just say $5,000 range.
For universities, NIL has been a challenge to navigate.
I think everybody is totally supportive of name, image, and likeness. But again, we need more clarity as we move forward to it's been the wild, wild west.
Mark Coyle is the athletic director at the University of Minnesota.
There's not an athletic program in the country that wouldn't say they want some sort of guidelines.
With no federal law regulating NIL and a patchwork of state laws, administrators have voiced concerns about a lack of transparency.
I think you see at some institutions, I'm not sure it's true NIL, you hear the term pay for play where they're recruiting kids on NIL deals. Are those deals real? Are they false?
Despite this uncertainty, there is a new legal settlement moving forward this fall with the NCAA that could drastically change the landscape of NIL. Last month, the federal judge approved a preliminary settlement that provides nearly $2.8 billion in damages to current and former athletes who played before the NIL era. If finalized, the settlement also opens the door to direct payments between schools and athletes. The money to pay players would come out of the athletic department budget every year.
The number varies, but they think it'll be around maybe $20 to $22 million.
Does that seem like a sustainable model for the athletic department?
Departments are going to have to find that revenue. They're going to have to work with their campus partners to generate that revenue, but there's no doubt there's pressure on every athletic program.
All of this represents a seismic shift for college athletics.
A new sense of what amateurism means, because it doesn't mean much anymore, and you can't blame players.
Bob Stein was an All-American football player at the U of M in the late 60s.
It just wasn't like this at all.
He's also an attorney who has followed NIL developments closely.
What this is going to create is a segmentation of the people who could play in the big dollar game and the people, meaning the schools, that couldn't.
Even under a direct payment model in the future, NIL is likely to exist in some form through outside partnerships. During her career at the University of Minnesota, Mara Braun says NIL has meant so much more than just extra income.
I feel like I have the right intentions and values going into NIL. I think it can definitely get messy, and if you don't have that good foundation behind you, putting yourself in that spotlight that makes you a valuable person to the community, that's what's important to me.
And here's another factor that has complicated NIL. Around the same time that NIL took effect in 2021, the NCAA also changed transfer rules, allowing players to switch schools without sitting out a year. That has really added to this chaotic environment, with concerns that players are leaving teams to chase better NIL deals. So there's just a lot going on here.
Yeah, there's so much going on. I love that you took a deep dive into it because there's a lot I didn't realize. I learned a lot from that piece. So what do they do? Is there anything happening right now to change it, put more barriers up or boundaries?
The biggest thing probably is that the president of the NCAA, Charlie Baker, is now calling for federal regulations from Congress. So he's asking them to pass a bill at the federal level to just clean some of this up.
Yeah.
And then starting next year, if this settlement goes through in the spring, it sounds like there will be that revenue sharing between the schools and the players. So college sports has changed and it's never going back.
All right, someone who's written a book, literally, on college sports and U of M football. Check it out by Danny Spiewak.
But that is the
Thanks,
wild,
Danny.
wild west right now.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And
Yeah.
I think the transfer portal has just messed up so many things like that. And can you imagine being a coach trying to figure out how to just coach a kid?
Yeah, make a plan.
And then there's like money involved.
Yeah.
And yeah, really difficult. So good story. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny.